They say nothing lasts forever, and in our lab, nothing lasts 5 seconds. We're here to push the limits of what a household ceiling fan can truly endure. We're not just breaking things, we're scientifically dismantling them, one spectacular failure at a time. Let's start with the classic, the wobble of doom. This cheap plastic unit is going from perfectly still to maximum instability in 3, 2, 1. Look at the rod bending. It's fighting for its life. But physics always wins. And that blade? It just rejected the motor. The wobble test failed. Now for the drop test. A classic gravity experiment. First up, a battle of old tech versus ancient percussion. We've got a vintage 4-blade coming down hard on an old 1980s computer monitor. Oh, that's just savage. This screen just evaporated into a million pixels of dust. Next, we upgrade to the chrome-plated menace. We are measuring the exact moment of impact as it strikes a glass-top coffee table. Hyper slow motion now. Look at the shards of glass flying outwards. That's not destruction. That's a visceral demonstration of kinetic energy transfer. We're not done with the drops. Sending a heavy-duty industrial fan down onto a perfectly stacked pyramid of empty soda cans. Explosion! A beautiful, aerodynamic scattering of aluminum. Now for a little levity. We call this the Carnival of Chaos. The spinning fan is slowly lowered into a container of colorful confetti. It's not destruction. It's a massive, festive explosion of paper. And now for the sticky nightmare. We set this remote-controlled unit to max speed and drive it right through a shower of silly string. The blades are instantly tangled. The fan is choking on plastic goo. Into the goo chamber! We're dropping a fan into a vat of thick, green liquid slime. Look at that aerodynamic slinging action. Slime covering the walls, the ceiling, the camera. Perfection. Time to see what happens when we overload the motor. This DC unit is accelerating impossibly fast. It's generating a vortex so powerful, it's ripping objects right off the desk below. The air is visibly warping around the blades. And now, the weights. We've deliberately unbalanced the blades, and at maximum velocity, the fan motor is simply rejecting the metal. Look at the stress on the housing. It's physically cracking and splitting before the entire unit tears itself apart. That is mechanical failure in its purest form. You know it's a good fail when you smell the magic smoke. The electrical system has officially gone into self-destruct mode. We get a sudden, large burst of white-hot sparks as the motor short-circuits. Maximum power surge. Now we introduce an element of danger. A vintage metallic fan is spinning, and the central bearing is catching fire. Flames licking the ceiling. The entire unit falls, still burning, illuminating the dark room with an eerie glow. The light kit on this decorative model is next. It explodes into a flash of light and smoke after a massive power surge. We're testing the limits of its internal wiring. Let's try some weird physics. We've covered the fan blades with dry ice before spinning. The result? A dramatic, cold fog that fills the room as the fan begins its rotational dance of death. Eerie, misty atmosphere. Now for the ultimate anti-fan technology, wet cement. The remote control fan is lowered into the bucket, instantaneous stop. The cement solidifies around the blades, ending the experiment in a permanent gray mess. The fan just can't fight science. For a moment of pure physics, observe this close-up slow motion. The fan blade is slicing perfectly through a piece of soft fruit mid-spin. Visceral, clean cut, no mess, just pure destruction. Now for the ironic finish. We're trusting a high-quality, expensive $500 fan. Surely this one will survive. It hits the tile floor, the motor survives, but the blades shatter like cheap glass. The expensive fan dies just as brutally as the cheap one. We've seen sparks fly, blades break, and motors burn, but sometimes chaos is contagious. Watch as a fan's pull chain accidentally snags the cord of another object mid-fall, causing a secondary, unexpected piece of equipment to also drop. A true domino effect of destruction. And the final word on durability, we've pushed this last fan to the absolute limit. It falls, it crashes, its blades are completely obliterated. But look closely. The motor sits intact on the floor surrounded by its carnage, still humming slightly. A true survivor. But the battle is over. That was ceiling fan destruction, the ultimate stress test. We've proven that ceiling fans are excellent at many things, moving air, short-circuiting, and dramatically exploding upon impact. Thanks for watching us put these appliances through their paces. Don't try this at home, or do. We're not your mom.